Hello and welcome to another video on 11 plus maths by Arts Education Limited, and we're talking about angles in two-dimensional shapes. Okay, there are 4 or 5 basic angle concepts or facts you need to know. In your primary schools you will have started this in year 5 and you'll be finishing this in year 6, but obviously 11 plus is happening much earlier than the year 6 sats are going to happen, so we need to know this earlier. Guys, the first one, I'll read this out to you. It says angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So if there's a straight line and there are 1, 2 and 3 angles formed on this straight line, they should add to give me 180 degrees. Very important, very basic, very simple property. Okay, so let's say I give you 1 as letter A, 2 as letter A as well. So that means I'm trying to say to you that 1 and 2 are both equal angles. Okay, and I give you 2 as, let's say, 110 degrees. So I ask you to work out A. So ladies and gentlemen, what you need to do is you have to first, the total is 180 degrees. So take away 180 and whatever is given to you, that gives you 70 degrees. Now this 70 should be the total of these two angles and they both are same, so you divide this 70 by 2, so you get A is 35 degrees. So both these angles are 35 and 35. I'm expecting you to know that 35 degrees is an acute angle and 110 degrees obtuse angle. That's how it looks like this as well. Okay, there's another thing which I would like you to know. This box in an angle means this is 90 degrees right angle. Okay, I give you this little thing as, let's say, 15 degrees and I ask you to find this angle C. Okay, now people, if you want to pause the video, you can do that and work it out yourself, or I'm going to do this anyway for you guys. What do we need to do? 180, take away the 2 given angles. So I'll first add the 2 given angles which I have. That gives me 105. Then take that away from 180. That gives me 75. So 75 degrees is the answer of the remaining angle. Easy. Moving on. Number 2. Angles around a point. Around a point means all around it. When you complete one full circle, sometimes some teachers call this as angles in a circle is 360 degrees as well. Okay, so this is 90, I know, because of the box. Okay, let's say I give you this as 120 and I'm expecting you to find this angle A. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, once again, what you're going to do, you're going to be adding the 2 given angles, take away from 360, that will be the answer. Do it then. Okay, pause, do it, then check the answer. So this is 210, so 360 take away 210, so A equals 150 degrees. I'm pretty sure it's moving very smoothly. Okay, now I'm going to ask you to work out this angle, the outside angle, this angle X, and this is given to you 80 degrees. Step 1, guys, can you tell me what is the type of this angle X? It's begin with an R. It's a reflex angle because it's bigger than 180 degrees. So what do we do? Simple, take away 360 and 80, that gives me 280 degrees. Okay, now the next one, guys, this is another lines thing. 2 lines, opposite angles formed when 2 lines cross each other, that means they make an X shape, are equal. Really important you understand. This angle 50 is equal to this angle B. So this angle 120 is equal to this angle C. Okay, so in this case B equals 50. Now how do I find A and C? And I know A and C are equal as well. I add these two, that gives me 100. So take that away from 360, that gives me 260. So 260 should be the total of these 2 angles, and since both of them are equal because they are also opposite, we divide them by 2. So B equals C equals 130 and D is also equals 130. Pause the video, work that out yourself please. Similar method, okay, then we come back to it. Check the answer with me. Probably I've done that for you. Same old thing. C is 120 because of the opposite angles when lines crossing. A and B is add to give me 120 because 360 take away 240 is 120. Divide them by 2 to get 60 and 60 each. Now we're talking about angles in triangles and quadrilaterals. It's really important that you pay attention now. Okay, then the first one, all the angles in a triangle at 280 degrees. This is, you all know this, guys. I'm pretty sure. If you don't, it's time to learn now. If I just make a triangle, I give you this as 30 degrees. I give you this as 110 degrees. And I ask you to find this angle A. What you're going to do is the same old business, guys. Add these two. That gives you 140. Take away from 180. And the answer is 40 degrees. Okay, now the slightly new things which you haven't done in primaries before, guys. This is isosceles triangle. I'm pretty sure you all know what it is. I will tell you that one more time. It's got two sides and two angles equal. How do we know which two sides are equal? Ladies and gentlemen, these two sides which are equal will have these two lines marked on this. And how do we know which two angles are equal? It's always the angles which are in front these two sides. So it's really important you understand that part. So this angle, let's call this angle A. This angle, let's call this angle B. So angle A is equal to angle B. Okay. Now, people, if I give you this angle as 40 degrees and I ask you to find A and B, what do you think you're going to do? All the three of them should have to give you 180. We learned it. Okay. So we take away from 180, whatever is given, you take away from the total, that gives you 140 degrees. 140 is the total of these two angles, but these two are equal. So each one of them will be half of that. We divide that by 2. So A equals 70 and B equals 70 as well. Lovely. Now question is slightly different. I'm going to do the same thing, guys. Can you see these two sides are equal? It is imperative that you make these arrows in the question so that you know which angle is equal. Now I'm going to give you this angle as 65 and I will ask you to find A and B. Right. So very, very important. You're going to say to yourself, because these two sides are equal, this angle in front should be equal to this angle in front. That means B is equal to 65. Moment I know my B, which is 65, I know the two angles now. What do? I add them together to get it 130. Take that away from 180. So A is equal to 50 degrees. Try and learn this properly again, guys. Two lengths equal. So angles which are in front of these two lengths will have to be equal. So since one of them was 65, other will also be 65. Once you know the two angles, take away from 180 to get the third one. Okay, we move on to quadrilateral. Quadrilateral is a four-sided shape. And the property is that all four angles in a quadrilateral add to give you 360. So what you can do is very easily add the given angles, take away from 360, find the answer of the missing angle. Do that for me and check the answer with me then. And as you can see, the answer is 100 degrees. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we finish all we need to know for 11 plus maths for angles in 2D shapes. And I will now prepare a worksheet for you to practice. Good luck, happy learning. See you soon. Bye.